All right, good Sunday evening, everybody. We are wrapping up the weekend with a mostly clear sky. Let's take a live look outside, show you what we have in the KENS 5 Weather Digital Sensor. Here's today's numbers. It was a typical seasonal hot day in the middle of August. A lot of kiddos do start school tomorrow, which we'll go into the details in on what to expect tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Obviously, it's August, so it's probably going to be hot again. We're expecting right around 97, 98 tomorrow. But when you look at the numbers, that's pretty typical this time of year. Average is 97, so that's where we should be stopping based on our afternoon average highs. And today was 98. So I think in the range of 97, 98, 99 for the next several days. The mornings will be near typical as well. Expect like middle to upper 70s going forward. So just more of the same, more like, mild, comfortable, pleasant mornings, and then more, excessively hot afternoons, because while it is average, when you factor in the humidity, it still feels very, very hot and humid and tropical outside. Even, at this time of night, right? I mean, we'll take a look at temperatures, but still probably hanging in the lower 90s and upper 80s at this hour. So those are today's numbers. We did not see any rain in the San Antonio area. South Bexar County saw a couple of isolated showers earlier this evening, and we have the potential at seeing that once again tomorrow and Tuesday. Rain chances are pretty low, but they're there at least to talk about for the foreseeable future. Today's sunrise was at 6:59, and tonight's sunset was at 8:19. Here's a live look around town. It is a mostly clear night. No rain on the radar at the moment. 89 at Helotes, 89 in San Antonio, so still pretty hot and, pretty humid out there. 90 at Castroville, and about 90 in several areas like, Devine, Moore, 88 in Pleasanton, 91 at Hondo at this hour. Middle 80s in the Hill Country, and a little cooler across parts of Kerr County, Bandera County, and towards Kendall County. 95 at Del Rio, 93 at Eagle Pass. Here's the radar. We saw one or two showers really try and get going between downtown and like Wilson County towards Floresville, but really just rained themselves out. I wouldn't be surprised if some areas around downtown, like the Alamo Dome right there, let's go back. It was a really quick pop-up shower, probably around 8:15, 8:30, 8:45. So if you're anywhere from like Mission Road, South San Marcos, 281 to, I-35, you may have saw a quick little downpour earlier this evening around 8:30, 8:40 p.m. It was a very isolated downpour. Noticed like near Rigsby, East-South Cross Boulevard, near Columbia Heights. It was very dry, but there was a quick downpour that did materialize near the downtown area around 8:30 this evening. But watch what happened. After about 5-10 minutes, it just dissipated pretty quickly. And by about 9 p.m., it was done and it just fizzled out. So that's the nature of these showers and storms, this time of year. And this week, there will be a small chance that happens like between 3 o'clock and 8 p.m., but mostly isolated. And it counts for like a 20 to 30% chance of that happening and coverage in the area. So don't count on it, but you may be surprised by a quick downpour in the late evening hours, and that would definitely cool you off for a little bit. And we do need the rain considering how bad the drought is in Bexar County and Medina County and several areas to our south as well. That's tomorrow's forecast, 97 to 98, a lot like today. We have a weak disturbance paralleling the Texas coast, and that's kind of what's causing some of those showers to form east, and then they move farther west towards San Antonio. This will be around, and the moisture from the Gulf will also be around tomorrow and Tuesday, which will keep that chance for a couple of isolated evening showers around through tomorrow and Tuesday as well. I think by Wednesday and Thursday it really backs off. But this is kind of how it could play out. Mostly scattered towards the coast, like, Victoria, towards Port Lavaca, Rockport, Matagorda Bay. More scattered rain in that area towards the water. And then some of those will make it towards, they'll inch towards like, Wilson County, Floresville, Gonzales. And then we'll have the opportunity at seeing isolated downpours in the area tomorrow evening and Tuesday evening as well. But it's not 100%. It's like a 20% opportunity of that happening. But hey, it's something. And we at least have some rain to talk about. over the next couple of days, but that's pretty much it, right? Isolated is the key word. Not expecting much in the way of heavy rain coverage, heavy rain thunderstorms. Nothing severe is expected. But scattered rain across the coast may eventually make a run towards the I-35 corridor, and that could impact some areas tomorrow evening and Tuesday as well. So don't count on it. It's not a slam dunk, but it is there. And as a matter of fact, here's what tomorrow looks like. Mostly clear. A lot of kids start school tomorrow, so parents, if you're taking your kids to school tomorrow morning, if they're heading to the bus stop tomorrow morning, expect like middle to lower 70s across San Antonio and towards the hill country. It's going to be a nice morning, a few clouds overhead. Sunrise will be around 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, around 6:59, 7. Yeah, middle to lower 70s, not chilly, just mild to warm tomorrow morning. And then fast forward into the afternoon, 95 degrees at 2 o'clock, and then there's those spotty, isolated showers, most of us staying dry, and as you can see, not much to it. Most of the models say like, hey, 20% isolated showers between here, Gonzales, Hallettsville, Victoria, Beeville, Seguin. So I wouldn't count on it, but you know, it's possible. It's just not probable. We're not expecting like a widespread threat of showers, but the chance for an isolated downpour is there tomorrow afternoon. It's all driven by the heating of the day. Hot air rises, and that helps spark off a couple of isolated showers here and there. All right, so let's talk about the tropics. A lot of folks are always wondering about this. It's the middle of August. You always get these big tropical waves moving off the coast of Africa this time of year, and what they can do is really spin up and organize into tropical depressions, tropical storms very rapidly, and into hurricanes. The time of year where we see the most is like pretty much between mid-August and mid-September. Specifically, like September 10th is the peak of hurricane season. That's when we see the most activity in the Atlantic Basin, the Gulf, the Caribbean, and the Pacific as well. And this is what we have going on out there. So no current storms. We had Dexter in the northern Atlantic, but that fizzled out pretty fast. It didn't really have an impact to anyone or to land. But off the coast of Africa is a very high chance that something's spinning up into a storm and then ultimately a hurricane. Now this is big because a lot of folks, a lot of families still go on vacation this time of year. And as a matter of fact, you know, cruises are a little bit cheaper, like in mid to late August into early September, and this is the reason, the threat of hurricanes, because you see more forming. You see a lot of tropical waves, tropical storms and hurricanes in the Atlantic and the Caribbean and in the Western Gulf. That can happen sometimes. Now, the latest guidance on a lot of computer models say between August 17th and 21st, there is potential at a hurricane in the Western Atlantic. So basically between, I would say, Puerto Rico, the Northern Caribbean, the DR, towards the Bahamas, and towards Florida and the East Coast, those areas should be very aware for any potential at hurricane formation between the 17th and the 21st. Those days may shift around a little bit more, but that's kind of what we're looking at. So again, this is next week, next Sunday. This is where the storm could be at, north of like the Lesser Antilles Islands, east of the Bahamas, and probably by, man, let's take a look at the date. So it's the 10th right now. This spaghetti plot you're seeing right here stops at August 17th. So this is south of Bermuda this time next weekend. So this would probably near landfall if it closes in on the Bahamas, on Cuba, on the Dominican Republic, or the East Coast, Florida, Carolinas, you name it. Wherever it goes exactly, that landfall would be closer to like, you know, August 19th through August 22nd. So that's a big heads up if you have any vacation flights, cruises, you know, trips planned anywhere from the Northern Caribbean towards the East Coast, because we don't know exactly where this storm is going to go. We do think it's going to strengthen a little bit more, probably become Tropical Storm Erin in the coming days. That is the E storm, E-R-I-N, Tropical Storm Erin. And then it'll probably near the Bahamas and the Western Atlantic this time next weekend. So next Sunday, next Monday. So we have like, you know, 7, 8, 9 days to watch this. But this is always an early heads up for anyone that has like, you know, late summer vacation plans, because a lot of people do. A lot of people go to the Caribbean. A lot of people go on cruises. A lot of people go to Florida, to Disney World, for example. Now, not to say that this storm is going to impact those specific areas, because there's also a chance that this storm just turns out, makes a hard right turn and turns back out to sea towards like Bermuda, for example. So a lot of scenarios are possible over the next 10 to 12 days, but the general consensus, the overall confidence right now is a west-northwest movement, and this likely will become Tropical Storm Erin, maybe Hurricane Erin, sometime later this week in the open waters of the Atlantic Ocean. But again, at the moment, next 5 days, no threat to land, but by this time next weekend, next Sunday, that next Monday, August 17th, 18th, 19th time frame, that's when we could be talking about specifics and more like detailed forecasts. But this is always an early heads up. Now again, Erin is next name on the list, and then Fernand, Gabrielle, Umberto, Imelda, Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo. We've only had 4 named storms this season. Barry was the closest one to us in eastern Mexico. But these are the names for the 2025 list. All right, so let's talk about the 14-day forecast. Tomorrow, 97 to 98, very rinse and repeat next couple of days. That 20% chance is for like an evening isolated shower. Is there going to be a lot? No, but that possibility is there between 3 and 8 p.m. Just like today, where some of us saw a couple of isolated downpours between downtown and the south side. 98 Wednesday, small chance of rain there. 99 Thursday, looks like the rain chance drops off, and temperatures stay seasonal for the next 7 days. Nothing out of the ordinary. Obviously, it's hot this time of year, and we may crank up the heat a little bit more by the 19th and 20th, which we'll watch out for the potential at any tropical development. But for right now, that is the forecast, guys. No big changes. As the kiddos get back to school, have the KENS 5 app in your hand. It is free to download. Any tropical updates, any severe weather updates, any more heat updates, we'll keep you posted here on KENS 5. But for now, that is it for weather. Have a wonderful Sunday night. And parents, kids that are heading back to school or preparing for school tomorrow morning, get ready for it. Have a wonderful year. And the weather, I mean, I'd suggest like shorts and short sleeves will be perfect for any of the kiddos, just because obviously it's just so hot outside. Upper 90s through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and not much of a change until probably the end of August.